Hi everyone, Dr. Terry here. I am so excited to share with you in this video an update on all things related to our coloring books. And at the end of the video, I am going to share with you our new coloring book that we are just really excited about. So how did we get here? Why am I a physician selling coloring books? Well, for one thing, coloring books seem to be a medium that applies to all ages. I've seen people from ages 5 to 105 engage with the coloring books, which is really cool. The other thing we're trying to do with all of our coloring books is be educational, sharing facts, sharing games, sharing things that are kind of fun to engage with. Now, with our coloring books, if you pick up one of our books, they all have this thing on them about thanks for coloring with a cause. Now, what does that mean? With our books, we are donating as much of the funds as we can. And since we launched our first book just 8 months ago or so, we've reinvested about $6,000 from book sales. And that money has gone toward providing direct book donations to places like a domestic violence shelter for women and children. We've donated them to an entire clinic, a mental health clinic, so they could be out in the waiting room, or the patients could take them home for their children. We have donated the funds to free clinics here in the Fresno area and other places. We've shipped books even internationally to engage in particular, Manasu is one charity that comes to mind that works with homeless Indian men with schizophrenia who are not welcome to live with their families, so they have something to engage in, something to do. We're also taking the books and sending them to friends and family members who are undergoing complex medical procedures, who are undergoing chemotherapy, who are undergoing dialysis, people who need something to do. So the books have been really cool. And as I mentioned, we've sold about 2,000 copies, which is something I never would have anticipated for coloring books, and we're investing as much as we can. Now let's take a quick tour through the books. So in 2017, I had my first book, Eat the Rainbow, which is actually really beautiful because my mom did the illustrations. And this book runs through the different colors of the rainbow, looks at the different foods that are involved. That, say, it looks like this one right here is orange foods, and here are red foods, and it names them. It also has an accompanying coloring book. This was our first foray into the coloring book. This coloring book doesn't make a ton of sense without the other book, but I love this book because we made it featuring children that we knew, family, friends, patients, all with appropriate releases. So these, even though they're a little bit dated and I didn't know what I was doing too much with books and coloring books, they are available. They're on Amazon. Lost but not forgotten. Then, last November, things were heating up. Social media was looking pretty ugly. People were being mean to each other. And I wanted to bring to the world an animal that is hardly mean to anyone, the capybara. So, for those of you who don't know the capybara, it's the world's largest rodent, and they are amazing and gregarious. And you see pictures of them hanging out with other animals, and their babies are just so, so cute. So this book was our first of our 3 modern coloring books to date, I'll call them that. And this is a hefty coloring book. You can see from the thickness of it, it's 103 pages. And every page, in addition to having something really beautiful to color, it includes a fact about the capybaras. So here's a very important fact that I just opened to again on this cute page with the bebés. So this fact reads, though these are giant rodents, there are no known instances of the capybara training radioactive turtles in the way of the ninja. So The Pursuit of Capyness has by far been our best-selling book to date. This book actually sells 21 copies for every 1 copy of the other books that we sell. So keep it up. The capybaras are awesome, but also give the other books some love too. So you'll also notice on my books that they all have this not for resale strip across them. That's because these are the author proofs. When you order these books, it won't have that. These are just mine for reviewing the book, seeing how it feels before I review the final copy to go for publication. One thing about this book in particular, right now it is only about $3 on Amazon. Now as an author, I have no control over that. What Amazon does is it says, hey, here's a book that's selling it, and here's the price point where it's most likely to sell. Which is really kind of interesting, and a lot can be said about that. As an author, we still receive the same amount of proceeds from the book that we can reinvest. So if you see the book for $3, if you want to buy 20 of them, go right ahead. If you want to buy one, $3 is hard to beat. I certainly feel that in this book, 103 pages of coloring and capybaras is absolutely worth it. So many fun things here. Gosh, I just want to color looking at this. So let's talk about our next book, which was, this one came out in March, just in time for the pandemic, Red, White, and Panda. This one is all about red pandas. Now, red pandas, and we're picking kind of animals that have a niche following, but are underappreciated. There's a reason we're not doing a tiger coloring book. There are enough tiger coloring books. And like narwhals are really cool, but you'll see a lot of coloring books on those. The red panda, however, really doesn't have good representation, comparable to how just absolutely adorable these guys are. In this book, we took things a step farther. We made it one more page. It's 104 pages, still a really thick coloring book, a lot of value for your money. We also included things like a word search, and we've got a drawing guide for how to draw a red panda, which is really cool. We have something like a Mad Lib in here. This actually was in the Capybara book as well. So really just, again, great value, and I'm personally surprised because I think that the books are getting a little bit better each time, that with as fun as these books are, look at this guy, the Red Panda book has kind of underperformed. So feel free to show the Red Panda some love if you want. Again, this gray strip is for the author's proof. This would not be present on a book if you were to buy it today. Oh, and I'm mentioning buying the books. I'm going to include the links down below for both Amazon and Etsy. Both are published by Amazon because that's one of the easiest ways for independent authors to get a niche, both in the United States and abroad. We've actually been selling a lot of capybaras in the United Kingdom, in Germany, and Japan. Really cool stuff. So again, Amazon and Etsy, please feel encouraged to use the links below. And if you buy a book, please consider leaving a review. Please consider including a photo with your review. Those reviews make such a huge difference for the book's ability to show up in searches, similar to, well, of course, when we're all shopping on a site, we're going to be looking for the thing that's got 1,000 reviews and not the thing that has 0. So, again, quick review before we reveal the new book. But, again, what we've got here are a bunch of books. This was not the plan when I went to medical school. We have Eat the Rainbow, the Eat the Rainbow coloring book. Again, these guys go together, and it's got some people who you might recognize from my own life who I post about that are pretty awesome featured in it. We've got The Irreplaceable Pursuit of Capyness, a Zen capybara coloring book. We've got Red, White, and Panda, an educational red panda coloring book for adults and children. You can see we're playing around a bit with subtitles to see what makes the most sense. And if you guys are ready, you've been watching about coloring books for 8 minutes. So I'm going to show you the new book if you've made it this far, or if you've just skipped ahead this far. So the new book is from another animal that I think is underappreciated, that also has not really been represented in the coloring book world, or even just in the general education. When people see this animal, there's a lot of misperceptions. There's a lot that people don't know, and so we're here to set the record straight about an animal whose awesomeness is absolutely impossible to describe. So we put it together in the new book, Impossibly, Opossum, Coloring Book, Facts and Games. Look at how cute she is. This is the mama right here with the babies hanging off of her. Really just adorable possums and illustrations in here. I worked with my favorite artist from the previous books, Desiree Albaran. She's based in Bogota, Colombia, and she is one of the kindest people. She's really excited about these books too. And Impossibly Opossum is, again, for ages 5 to 105. When you order the book, this gray strip on the proof will not be on your copy, and if you want an author proof, let me know, and I'll be happy to mail you one if you are a collector of all fine things. And so this book, with this adorable guy right there in the front, or girl, is 104 pages of Impossibly Opossum awesomeness. And you can see on all of the left-facing pages, we've got more facts, and on the right-facing pages, we have coloring, we've got facts, we've got games. One of the things that I included in this version, you can see it here on the back, is actually like a color by letter type exercise that I think is really fun. It also includes an exercise in how to draw an opossum, and it has got a word search here. Really just fun stuff. It's got history, and it's got the capybara in there too, because we all love a good capybara. Lots of fun stuff here with the possum, and we just had so much fun making this book. This book is now live on Amazon. I'm going to get it on Etsy shortly. And like I said, if you want a personalized copy, drop a line. I will get one in the mail for you with whatever works for you. Our hope with this book, again, is that we are going to be able to not only give some light to the opossum, which is an absolutely awesome animal, but also to be able to, again, use those funds to reinvest in our communities, to do creative things. Reminders for what we do with the books. We donate the books, of course, directly, sometimes by 50 or 100 of them at a time, to places that need them, to places that need educational enrichment. We use the funds to purchase medical supplies, to provide for medical visits. We even use the funds to target specific populations, for example, impaired professionals, students, people who might not otherwise come to the office and seek help. I've got tons more information on what we're using the funds for and on the books themselves. The main thing that I want to say is, if we look at this stack of books here, couldn't have done any of this without, certainly without your support, without family support. It has been so fun for me. It's been so fun for our team. I really hope you'll consider checking out Impossibly Opossum. Mean the world to me again. If you buy a copy, leave a review, all those things. Because again, even if you are not a fan of coloring, we've seen that in general, it's something that can appeal to people of all ages, of a wide range of abilities, and it's something that brings people together. It's something that's fun to share. So thank you for your time. Thanks for watching this special July COVID video all about coloring books, and I hope that you will let me know about your experience. So grateful for you guys. Thanks again.